呪術廻戦
Okay, let's read chapter 165 of Jujutsu Kaisen, Tokyo Daiichi Koroni, part 5, Tokyo #1 colony. Itadori is fighting Higuruma here. They got through the domain. Itadori is found guilty. Watch the previous chapter. We're getting a recap here of Higuruma and his past. So, whatever. Shushu Goju Kyuki, Iwate Bengoshi Kaishozoku Higuruma Hiromi Sanju Hasai. Okay, so this wasn't quite a word. I looked up the first part just to try to speed this chapter along a little bit. This isn't quite a word, but this is like discipline, learning, 59 period. This is like some sort of group. Anyway, Iwate is a prefecture, lawyer association belonging to Higuruma Hiromi, that's his name, 36 years old. So his name, his age, he is belonging to the lawyer association of Iwate-ken, Iwate prefecture. And this is like some sort of time period of like of a group or something. T Daiho Gakubu Juken Hokadai Gakuin Donyu Mae no Kyushiho Shiken nado Arayuru Nanka no Streito de Tsuka. Okay, so this is like T University, maybe like Todai, I don't know. T University law section entrance exam. There's a Juken is taking an examination, and then the law department graduate university's introduction before doing that, the old style law examination and things like that. All of those barriers straightly or straightforwardly did passing. So he passed straightforwardly all of the barriers, such as these entrance exams. There's one, and something about before this entrance exam. So he passed them straightforwardly. Tensai Higuruma Oshita Bonbu wa Sasayaku. Genius, Higuruma, being familiar as for ordinary people, whisper. So the ordinary people whisper their familiarity with Higuruma as genius. Daga, however, Higuruma ni totte sorera wa hitsuyou na chishiki o nyūryoku shi, hitsuyou na dake shutsuryoku suru kantan na sagyo datta. For Higuruma, as for all that stuff, meaning all this stuff, necessary knowledge, doing, like obtaining, nyūryoku. The input. Doing the input of necessary knowledge and doing the output of just the necessary stuff, I guess. And it was a simple action. It was. That's all it was. So people called him genius, but to him, it was the simple application of inputting the necessary knowledge and outputting just the necessary stuff. Kare no naka de mottomo hikaru genseki wa? Amongst him, in the middle of him, the most light shining genseki, as for that, the most light shining ore? Okay, like ore as in unrefined material. As for the ore that shines the most amongst him, or in him, okay, we're not going to finish that thought right away, apparently. So they're fighting. Dago. So there's the hammer. Plah. Oh, so the hammer disappearing from there, whew, plah, and appearing there. We saw the hammer in the previous time. Done. Bune! Like, whoa. That's like abunai. Like, whoa, watch out, dangerous. Okay, so he's crashing around with the hammer. Itadori is dodging. Okay, like hooking his elbow here. Oh. And like flipping him or something, and the hammer looks kind of like stretchy. Bizarre. Jujutsu shi toshite no saino datta. Okay, so that is the completion of the thing. As for the ore that shines the most about him, it is he was a genius when it came to sorcery or being a sorcerer. So it wasn't about law, which is what that whole introductory paragraph was about. It was about his brilliance at law. To him, that was just being input and output. The real thing that's shown about him was his genius as a sorcerer. Saino can be genius or talent. Okay. Oh, good, because we needed more text again. Ryoiki ga default? 領域がデフォルトで備わった自らの術式を解明することで、結界術の基礎も同時に習得。Okay, so like through domain, through the default, arranged one's own technique through the event of doing clarification or elucidation, kaimei. Yeah. So through clarifying one's own techniques, well, sonowata to be furnished amongst the default domain. Okay. It's this. So through doing refinement, clarification, elucidation of his own techniques that are furnished in the default domain, the world techniques kiso, foundation basis. Even the foundation basis of the world techniques, at the same time, it's shutoku. Oh, kekkai here, it's not world. This is barrier techniques. Magical barrier. Learning acquisition. Okay. So it's learning acquisition at the same time of the foundation of magical barrier techniques while he was like elucidating his own techniques that were furnished by the default domain. Okay, and his default domain is the courtroom thing here. We see the end of it where he was kan, banging his gavel. Kekkai jutsu kara gyakusan suru katachi de juryoku sousa ni yoru kyouka jutsu no kan o tsukami. From the magical barrier techniques, gyakusan suru, like a reverse calculation? Counting or calculating back, a back calculation with the shape. Through the shape or form of doing back calculation from the magical barrier techniques, and with regards to the operation of spiritual energy or spiritual strength, transformation or strengthening techniques, kan, tsukami. Grasping, seizing hold of the instinct. Grasping, seizing the kan, the instinct of like strengthening techniques according to the operation of cursed energy through the form of doing a backward calculation from the magical barrier techniques. Okay, so having learned the magical barrier techniques, he does a back calculation to do something about strengthening the operation of cursed energy. Okay. He grasped the instinct of doing the strengthening. Kyoka is like strengthening or reinforcement. Yeah. Okay. All right. Jutsushiki Kaikaから12日間で一級術師と比べても遜色のないレベルまで成長。Oh, okay. So this is the author's way of trying to justify why someone who has just woken up in their technique sorcery usage that they could be so good at and in such a short period. So from the technique opening of the flower, aika, which would be like blooming or budding.
Oh, ha, 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 ha.
That's a good time. There's our works in progress. Yeah. So from the budding time or blooming time of techniques, with 12 days, within 12 days, a first level sorcerer, even if doing comparison with a first level sorcerer, inferiority not existing or a favorable comparing, to that point, it's a growth into adulthood. So Seicho is like growing into being an adult or into one's full whatever. So again, growing into adulthood to the point of a favorable comparison of level, even if you compare to a first level sorcerer, in 12 days from the budding of his techniques. Again, this is all just to justify whatever. 頃に侵入前に数多くの呪霊を退け To step back? Oh, no. To repel, to drive away. Okay. That makes more sense. Before entering the colony or the magical barrier, many numbers of cursed spirits drove away, repelled. So he did that. 22条のプレイヤーを返り討ちにするに至る and more than 20 players 返り討ちに like repelling attacks, having the tables turned, killing a would-be avenger, beating someone at one's own game, did that. So he did the beating at their own game more than 20 players, which we knew because he had 100 points. 重力が寝れなくなっているのか? Okay, we saw this before. This is the verb that Itadori used, that he wasn't able to knead his spiritual energy. And so that's what he's asking now. Cursed energy, not able to knead, is that how it's becoming? Meaning you can't knead it? The translation is basically can't use or control your cursed energy. be. Anta ga yatta daro? You're the one that did it, right? Bolshutsu no penalty wa. As for the penalty of bolshutsu, or bolshu, which is confiscation. Forfeiture, seizure, that was the penalty from the previous courtroom case. As for the penalty of confiscation and seizure, ichijiteki ni jutsushiki no shio o fukano ni suru mono da. It's the thing of doing the impossibility or non-capability of the use of techniques temporarily. Sasuru ni omae wa jutsushiki o motte inakatta. Sasuru ni. I guess like guess with a guess. As for you, not having or didn't have techniques. No commento. No comment. 自分で言ってて恐ろしいよ. Through oneself saying horrifying it is. 自分で言ってて恐ろしいよ. Saying it by oneself or saying it through oneself, it's terrifying? Not quite sure about that. だからpenalty wa, this is batsu, by the way, but they're using the English penalty. だからpenalty が重力の使用負荷に変わったのだろう. So therefore, the penalty probably switched to cursed energy use, lack of permission. Fuka, not being possible. Use not being possible. Use not being possible of cursed energy. So the penalty switched. なぜ重力なしで Why or how, without cursed energy, 俺とタイトに渡り合える? With me, タイト equally able to meet. Basically, why is he able to meet with me on equal terms, even without cursed energy? This is Higuruma thinking this about Iterori. Watari, yeah, able to deal with. Why, how, without cursed energy, able to deal with on equal terms me. Deal with me on equal terms. ちなみに、没収は本来不可形でそれ単体で課されることはない. Okay, ちなみに is like normally? Yeah, incidentally, in passing, as for confiscation, 本来不可形. Originally, primarily, 不可形で as a 不可形 increased form? No. 不可形. What would this be? 不可形. Oh, it's fuka. Yeah, additional form. Or additional punishment. Additional punishment. That's what K is there. Okay. So, again, by the way, as for confiscation, as like originally, primarily, it's an additional punishment, as that thing Hantai ni simply. Yeah, simply or standing alone, something standing alone, a separate thing. Kasareru koto wa nai. Oh yeah. So it's normally an additional punishment. That thing, like standing alone, as for that sort of thing, it isn't. Kasareru. Yeah, as for it being inflicted as a standalone, not existing. So it's not done in isolation. So normally, by the way, that's how that operates. Jujutsu to shite de wa naku, seirai no nikutai. Okay. It's not as a sorcerer. It's not as a sorcerer. This is a continuation of this. Like, how is he able to meet with me on equal terms? It's not as a sorcerer. It's the physical body's seirai. Yeah, like his natural physical strength. 生物としての強度が恐ろしく高いのか? The strength as a seibutsu, as a substance, as a physical item, as a living creature. Strength as a living creature, horrifically high? Question mark. So basically, his strength as a living creature must be terrifyingly high.
Hello there.
Jujutsu wa Jutsu shikyo ga shiyou dekinaku naru to, kiso tekina juryoku sousa mo guda ni naru koto ga oi. Okay, so as for sorcerers, techniques use becoming not possible when that happens. So as for sorcerers, when their techniques become not able to be used or whatever, we just had Kiso. Fundamentally, even cursed energy manipulation, the event of it becoming Gura is many. Gura is going to be like a mess. Sloppy. Gura. Yeah, exhausted, tired, withered, worn out. So, again, as for sorcerers, techniques or sorcery techniques, the use when becoming not possible, when that happens, fundamentally, cursed spirit manipulation also, the event of it becoming worn out, exhausted, tired is many. I mean, that's what usually happens. Naganen no kan ga niburu no daro. Like long years of instinct being dulled, probably. So it's probably because like years of instinct on like how to use this is like dulled. Okay. Or goes dull. それより不利な完全な重力の使用負荷. More than that, a disadvantageous, unfavorable, complete cursed energy use inability. More than that is this. An inability to use cursed energy, like complete disadvantage. その状態で、ここまで戦えている事実。In that condition of like completely not being able to use cursed energy, to this place, up until this place, being able to fight reality, it's the reality of being able to fight up until this place in that condition. Nami no renshu nara, if it were the normal crowd, hajime no ichigeki de, in the first blow, shoubu wa keshite ta. As for the match, it's decided. So if it were the normal crowd, the match would be decided with the first blow, meaning Higuruma would decimate them. Yudan sureba ashi o sukuwareru. Okay, so yudan is being unprepared. If due unpreparedness, if I'm not prepared, the feet will be like tripped up. Sukuwareru. I think that's like to be scooped out. Yeah. To trip up someone. So if I'm not careful, if I'm not prepared, my feet will be scooped up. I'll have the carpet pulled out from under me. Sukuwareru. Okay. All right, so he's now got a staff. Oh, he's lengthened the shaft of the gavel. Zenryoku de tsubusu. Will crush with all strength. So basically, I'll crush him with all my might. Okay. Biwa. B B B B B B B B. Da-da. Pita. Okay, he's grabbing the goon. Oh, they're twisting. Uh-oh, it vanished. Well, now you can just punch him. There it comes back. Papa. Boom. Uh-oh, now we're playing with the bath. There's like Jackie Chan stuff going on here. Zah. Kicking the bath towards him. Oh. Baka. All right, he broke the bath. Goodbye, bathtub. All right. Porcelain, water flying everywhere. Itadori's shielding his eyes. Higuruma's coming in with a big blow. Okay. The mallet got like massively huge. What's her name? Harley Quinn. Dogo. And he's bracing it and like going through the stage. Gah! Double exclamation point. Goo, goo, goo. Sugoi na. That's incredible, you know? Amazing. Kowarenai ningyo o aite ni shitteru you da. In the manner of doing an opponent that is a unbreakable doll. So this is like fighting an unbreakable doll. Yabai, 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 yabai. Meanwhile, Itadori is thinking that, which is like, oh no, 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 no. This is bad, 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 bad. Itsumade tsuzuku da. To what point continuing? Like, how long is this going to continue? Juryoku, cursed energy. Hayaku juryoku. Oh, quickly cursed energy, meaning like come back, I need it, etc. Kondake no nouryoku da nanika. Just this ability, something. Just this, the ability of just this, something. Nanika Higuruma ni totte. Yeah, so for Higuruma, something. Furina yoso ga arun janei ka? A disadvantage yoso. Component, element exists, doesn't it? Okay, so he's basically saying with this sort of ability, some some sort of disadvantageous element must exist, right? For him. Kangaero, think. Kangaero, think. This is thinking back to their discussions. Saiban no jutsushiki. The technique of the court, the judge or the trial technique. Saiban, the trial. Higuruma! Yari naoshi, mo ikkai da. Okay, yari naoshi is to do over. Do over, one more time it is. Do over, one more time. Ah, okay. Yeah. So this is like wanting a retrial. Yari naoshi, do over. One more time. Bashu. Kizuita ka? You noticed, huh? You realized it, huh? Ah, abune. Oh, dangerous. Nishin te yatsu dayo na. A second trial thing it is, right? So nishin in this case is like a retrial or a second trial, second hearing. I don't know whether we're going to see that as an actual word. You normally don't see that. Okay, no, it is because it's something else. Sheen as a counter. Yeah, so this is the sheen. And it does mean like trials. So this is like a second trial. It's that thing, right? I don't know whether this can be used as a counter. Probably not. That would be weird. Well, here's Ishin as first trial. So Nishin would be second trial. Why that's not in the dictionary, I don't know. Judgment ni yuzai o iiwatasare penalty o kasareta taishou wa. Okay. As for the target being inflicting the penalty and being spoken in past of guilty by judge man. Okay, so by judge man, guilty being said in past and the penalty being dealt out. As for that target, yeah, as for the target of that, Sumi o mitomenai kagiri 2回まで裁判のやり直しを請求できる。To the limit of not confirming guilt, sin, and to the point of a second time, redoing a trial, it's possible for seikyu. What is seikyu here? Oh, to demand. Possible to claim or demand a retrial of the trial, a redo of the trial to a second time while not confirming, observing the guilt to the crime. Judgment ga kore o kotowaru koto wa nai. Judge man refusing this thing as for that event not existing. So like judge man will not refuse this request or whatever. Hora, mo ikkai. All right, one more time. Hey Mundu, how's it going? Okay, so new thing. Itaro Ryuji wa 2018年10月 oh, this is new. 10月30日、渋谷にて大量殺人を起こした疑いがある。 This is bad. So this is the new case. It's not the same case. It's a new case. As for Itadori Yuji, October 31st of 2018 in Shibuya, a large number of murders committed. Suspicion exists. Ore ga kuroshita. Yeah, I'm the one that killed. Yeah, like he's basically saying, yeah, like, no, I killed them. これは嘘でも否定でもない. As for this thing, even a lie, even a rejection not existing. Like, I'm not even going to lie or refuse that. Yeah, or deny it. Not going to deny or lie. Oh, okay, that's pretty freaky. Guilty, yuzai. Confiscation. There's the what is it again? There's a busho. Bolshu. Forfeit, seizure, confiscation. Desu penalty. Desu penalty. So shike, death penalty. Okay, so instead of confiscation this time is the death penalty. And that's the end of the chapter. That's the end of the chapter. I pushed really hard to get through that chapter, and it still took a fair amount of time. But we did it. Okay, death penalty. We'll see what happens, I guess, with what gets handed out next. Looks again like we have to suffer through some background. Lots of text. Can't wait. Anyway, that was 165. We'll see what 166 is about next time.